This past weekend was my birthday, so if you got to wish me happy birthday, thank you. And if you didn't, there's still time. But I want to take today's episode to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart. We have been talking about this over the last few weeks in different ways, but I want us to start a new series in the upcoming weeks that is similar to the concept of this or that. And so today's episode is going to focus on, are you still stuck or quietly growing? Here's how to tell the difference, because it's really important to know the difference. Being stuck is a very real thing, but often we mistake the fact that we are not actually stuck, but quietly growing. And so I want us to talk about that today because that has been a big piece of my story over the last year or two. And I want to make sure that you know how to recognize growth and to give yourself credit for all the hard work that you are doing. So let's dive in. Do you ever wish you had more time just to breathe, think, or even catch up? Does your to-do list feel like it's never ending, no matter how hard you try? Have you ever looked around and thought, why does everyone else seem to have it all together and I'm barely holding on? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to A Fresh Start. I'm Shannon Marquita, your habit and mindset coach, here to help you build healthier habits, feel more like yourself again, and stop burning out in the name of productivity. Trust me, I've lived the pressure of trying to prove myself, earn my worth, and juggle all the things. I know what it's like to look successful on paper, but still feel completely drained inside. That's why this podcast isn't just about information, it's about transformation. So stop scrolling, stop comparing, and stop trying to buy your way to balance. This is your space to slow down, reset, and focus on the one thing that will truly give you change, you. So let's get into today's episode. Are you still stuck or quietly growing? If you read that title and you thought, I don't care if I have to play this episode at 3x, I'm listening to this ASAP, I'm especially glad that you're here because it's common to ask yourself, am I even making progress? And I want to first start by saying yes. And also, you're not alone for asking yourself that question. I ask myself that question. I know the answer, but it's human to wonder in the moments where you feel like the wheels are just spinning, but progress is not being seen or felt. Is it working? So I want to talk today about how growth is often quiet and feels unseen, especially by ourselves. So let's start by first defining what stuck really feels like. It feels like looping thoughts, repeating actions, numbing, or even avoidance. If you catch yourself having the same thought over and over, that might be a sign that you're stuck. If you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, and even surprised when it happens, you might be stuck. If you feel numb and that is triggering avoidance to taking action or change, maybe even out of fear, you might be stuck. When we're not using our energy for moving forward and we're focused on the milestones that aren't there or happening like we hoped and expected, you might be stuck. The great news is that if any of those resonated with you, stuck is temporary and a choice, just like action, growth, and progress. So, on the other hand, what does quiet growth actually look like? These are my favorite because I have been growing into these more and more every day, and I hope that at least one of them you say yes to, or you are really excited to start implementing them so you can experience this yourself too. Number one, saying no without guilt. This is a big one because especially for recovering people pleasers, no is really hard. We don't want to disappoint anyone or let anyone down, but at the point that we get so solid and firm in our values and our goals and our worth and our healthy boundaries and priorities, saying no comes a lot easier because we know what is on the line. We know by saying no what we're actually saying yes to. And this is a huge piece of quiet growth, having the confidence and security in your answers. Number two, pausing before reacting. Our emotions can be really strong. Our attitudes might be in the past a tendency to have a quick reaction and not always the best. I know for me, I often reflect and think, gosh, I wish I handled that better. I wish I slowed down. I wish I said this instead of that. the more that we pause before reacting, we're getting to have those moments of clarity and growth and maturity where we're choosing our responses, how we show up, our presence, our words, our reaction, how we're causing others to feel, what we're inflicting, how we're influencing, all the things. Those are quiet growth that have immeasurable returns, which segues us into number 3, which is repeating healthy patterns instead of old ones. We start to notice that we are slower to respond, that we do pause and take into account how we want to show up and react, as well as how this affects others. Because healthy patterns are just that. They are the new habits that are taking root, and the more that we see them repeat themselves, we know that quiet growth is happening. And lastly, this is a big one, and it's feeling tired not because you're off track, but because you're doing deep, internal, intentional work. Feeling tired can often trigger guilt because we think we should be doing this. Why aren't we doing that? We still have so much on our to-do list. But really, growth is when you pause and realize I'm doing so much to be productive, not just from my to-do list, but also in my life. The internal work when it comes to growth, it makes us tired because it is taking emotional energy, physical energy, mental energy, and that can cause exhaustion. So learning to rest, not because you had to earn it, but because it's part of the growth process and you are always entitled to it and it is 100% necessary, is healthy growth that I want you to have full confidence in. So are there more on the list? Yes, I could go on and on for ways to define what stuck really feels like and signs that quiet growth is actually happening in your life. But these are some main ones that I want you to start with. And if any of these resonated, that is wonderful news. And I want you to pause and genuinely ask yourself whether the answers were in regards to being stuck or recognizing quiet growth better. Am I happy with the answer? What can I do differently? You can do this through a simple check-in that is very similar to the style of this episode, this or that. Are you avoiding or are you processing? Are you isolated or are you being introspective right now? Are you numbing or are you noticing? There is a difference. You can easily mistake feeling numb for actually pausing and noticing everything. You are introspectively reflecting. You are noticing others around you and how you're responding, how situations are making you feel, how you're showing up. Those are all very intentional choices. No longer avoiding tasks or situations or people, but processing the situations, processing what has happened and how to better handle situations, because situations are often not one and done. We learn and we get presented with them again. So learning to grow through them and commit to constantly be trying to show up as the best version of ourselves, which looks different in different seasons. And so don't compare your now to even 6 months ago. Just constantly commit to learning, growing, and moving forward. The thing about growth is that it is often quiet and no one talks about it. It rarely feels impressive in real time. It feels slow. It feels stagnant. It feels confusing, exhausting, and we often question, is it working and is it worth it? But remember, you don't owe anyone proof of your growth. You are doing this for you, for your goals, for your priorities, for your loved ones, for your own reasons. So stay in your lane. Stop looking to your left and to your right and wondering, how are they already here? Or why did that work for them and not me? And that's your answer, because you aren't them. You are you. Stay in your lane, put your head down, focus on the things that affect you in your life and your growth, and watch things begin to happen for you because you have the right focus and the right commitment, that you can begin to see the positive change because you are no longer focused on the comparison game. If you're in a quiet season right now, remember you're not behind. Real growth is often silent. I want you to remember that every single day. When it gets confusing or discouraging, you are growing. You're doing the work, you're putting in the effort, and you're showing up. And growth, it shows up when you need it most. in those different situations, when all of a sudden you realize you're responding differently, you're showing up differently, you're not having the looping, stressful thoughts, you have new actions that have taken root that you are choosing, and you are moving forward with confidence. I'm so proud of you. I just want you to remember that you're not stuck. You are becoming who you are meant to be with every choice that you make. Becoming takes time, patience, and honestly, compassion. So show yourself grace and keep going. Talk to you soon. I'm so glad you're here today. This conversation matters, and I know it's going to make a difference in how you move forward. If you'll do me a favor and take a minute to share this episode with a friend and leave a review, your words help others find their way too. For more resources, next steps, and to work together, you can head to my website, shannonmarquita.com. That's MARQUETA. Everything you need is waiting for you there. And if you're looking for honest conversation and extra encouragement with people doing the same kind of work, come join my free Facebook community. The link is in the show notes. Until next time, trust your pace, protect your peace, and remember, you are not behind. Take what you need from these episodes and know that a fresh start is always possible for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm thankful for you, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.